Yeah.
How's the mic? 1, 2, 1, 2.
So you're the, yeah. Do you normally have a, person?
No.
Oh, no? You guys just do
No,
it on your
this is
own?
it, yeah.
How about that? Okay.
This is pros, I guess.
We're all on Team Liquid Death. Shout out.
Ready?
I love how you're looking at me, like, yeah.
See if you're ready. I know Steve's always ready.
Always ready, dude.
He's always on camera. Hello, hello. What's up?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh, good day.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Long time coming. Steve-O is here.
Yeah.
He did it. You got him.
We did it. It
Nice
took
work.
It was
What was
it was my fault. It didn't happen last time, but
Yeah, oh my God. The last time that I was scheduled to do the Hawk versus Wolf podcast, I pulled into the parking lot right on time, and there were 2 fire trucks right outside the facility.
I
and
was
I
there for
thought,
that.
That's not good.
Yeah. I
saw
think you
outside.
texted me, like,
Right.
should I come in? And I was like, no.
Well,
Or,
I knew that Tony was in there, like, badly injured, and like, I'm just not good in those situations. I just thought I don't add any value.
nobody.
There's nothing like.
yeah. Well, had I seen you, I would have said, "Hey, man, let's record."
No, you wouldn't have.
Oh wait, Steve-O's here. You guys, can we pause this for a second? Bring me a mic. Let's
hold
go.
off on straightening my broken leg. Let's do a podcast.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
day of our like. Actually, we were skating. We were having a session, and then when you showed up, was going to be the end of the session.
Right.
I ended it a little early.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, thank God I was on
splash.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a hectic day. And you're right, you did not want to be in there. It was not.
I'm not good in those situations.
When you love somebody and they do that, I'm not saying it's worse. It's obviously worse for him, but it was like, I was like, everything
Right.
sucks. You know,
Right.
like this sucks. Everything about it is shit.
There's no
Yeah.
bright side.
Like, how's your day? It sucks.
I told everybody to give you my love, and I did.
Yeah, no, you did right. You
Well,
did
it
good.
was like there was a quid pro quo because I was there when you broke your ankle.
Right.
Oh yeah.
We've been there for pretty
Yeah.
grievous injuries. I was
Kinda-
there. I was there for your.
And my big knockout.
Your monkey.
In the
loop.
monkey with no helmet. Yep, that was a good one too.
The monkey loop.
Let's stop that. Why don't we stop that cycle? Can we put an end to that now?
Yeah. What?
I'm not enjoying it.
What do you consider your worst injury? Still the monkey loop?
No.
Because breaking a femur is gnarly.
No, my femur for sure. Well,
I was there for the.
Yeah, stop hanging out, dude.
yeah.
Don't even plan on coming down here, okay?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
We just got away with one too. Like I asked
Yeah.
her to come drive my Tesla up.
We just did a stunt.
Yeah, I can't believe you.
I was a
used your,
stunt driver.
Yeah, you used your actual car because that's the bit where I'd be like, you're not rolling over
course
my
he
car.
does.
I know.
Right.
Of
But
course.
Did you think that you might break your car?
For sure. Well, I've had access to my new Tesla Model Y for under a week.
That's a week old, and you skated over it.
Right. Plus, like within, I just got back from tour last night.
Yeah.
And like the day before I left for tour, I was hanging 110 feet in the air from a crane inside the Tesla overnight.
What the?
Don't you look at me. I don't
fuck
know.
is going like for promotional?
Well, because when it wasn't even for promotion.
How'd you get the car up there?
Well, that was the thing. Well, like I got all excited when I took possession of the Tesla. I thought, oh, cool, man! I'm gonna make a video just living in my Tesla for a week. It'll be fun, I got this like little mattress for the hatchback and like all the and I was going to go do a show in Las Vegas. And I thought, man, like it's kind of fun, it's kind of cute. I'm living in my Tesla, but like, what's like crazy about it? And I started thinking, where can I park the Tesla that'll be nuts, And I was thinking like the Las Vegas Raiders stadium, sleep in the Tesla on the 50-yard line. Like I'm coming up with all these crazy crazy ideas, but none of them would I ever be allowed to do. So then I thought, you know what I could probably pull off is call construction companies, get a crane operator to just lift it up in the air, and I'll sleep in it 150.
I love how he knows that there's a huge possibility that he can get a crane to get a car in the air. Like, the stadium, that won't work. But
I feel like there have been a few crane projects with you. So
yeah, for sure.
So does everybody leave and you're there by yourself?
Yeah, well, now, but we got the crane guy.
Yeah.
We got now they had to weld together like a frame to rest the car on.
Right, because you don't want to damage your car, or it seems you actually kind of want to fuck your car completely, but
as soon as possible.
You got it for in a week of having it. You've put it on a crane hundreds of feet in the air, and you skateboarded over it with Tony Hawk driving past you.
Yeah.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in your car. Just know that.
The thing was, too, that we got the crane operator, but we didn't have a location to do it. So I swing over to visit Dana at the UFC headquarters.
Shut up.
And I'm like, he goes, yeah, dude, we do it here.
Awesome.
He's like, go for it.
So you were at the UFC Institute, 100 feet. Dude, fuck yeah, man. That is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's so insane because, like, to get, like, permits to do that, permits and shit, like, there would be weeks.
Yeah.
But like I was
no permit, just Dana White.
Dana said it was cool.
Right.
So yeah, I was like within 48 hours of conception of the idea, I was hanging in a crane 100 feet above the UFC.
It's impressive, man.
Super cool. And I wanted to get the skate trick done as soon as I got back, because tomorrow I fly out to Austin to go do Rogan's podcast. And I know Elon Musk lives in Austin. I'm like, dude, gonna just say, Rogan, just text these videos to Elon. You know, like...
Putting your car to use.
Yeah, dude.
You already have the car, though. Isn't that the kind of thing you're trying to get, like a discount or a freebie?
I just want...
You just want to...
Wait, did you buy it?
I just want to be down with Elon Musk.
Okay.
You are... speaking of all these... Okay, so my first question is, you just got off tour last night doing this. Like, why the frantic hustle?
Because that's just how I am.
That's just how it is. Always.
I think you and I have that in common.
Yeah. That's pretty extreme, though. But you don't have kids, so I get it.
Right.
I might be on that schedule if I didn't have kids, but
I don't have
that's
kids.
cool.
And this one I really wanted to knock out so that like I could have it in hand to show Rogan when I get there.
That's cool. So the last thing, let's see. You taped yourself up to a Billboard, right?
Yeah.
And then called me. This was early in the morning. It was a Saturday morning or something.
I was like on the Billboard.
And he's like, check me out. Look where I am. Like, how? What?
FaceTime?
What is going on?
Yeah, I forget
I
what
think
the
so.
situation
Yeah,
was.
and then
I think you were up in LA.
I was heading to LA shortly thereafter, but he's like, come swing by. Like, okay.
Yeah, come check it out.
and be like, hey man, look at you're on the Billboard.
And then as I was heading there, I'm about an hour into the drive, and someone else texted me, I can't remember who, and they're like, are you coming to Steve-O's Billboard thing? I go, I was going to stop by, because he just announced to everyone you're coming here.
Oh, did I?
Nice.
I don't know that's...
Not a bad idea. I like that angle. I'm on a Billboard, but wait, there's more. Tony Hawk's going to come and watch me on the Billboard.
And he's yelling it for like,
hey, you guys! Yeah, Tony's going to show up later!
How's the permit for that?
There is none.
That one, I was shocked that I didn't get in any trouble for that. The cops showed up and they were like, well, he paid for the Billboard.
I did head that towards it, and it was over.
Yeah.
Like I head towards it, and there was already a rush of people leaving, and he was already down.
Right.
Why did you get down?
Well, the cops and the fire people were like...
When they saw you, how much time did they give you to stay up there? Like they show up and they go, "Oh fuck, Steve-O's on the sign."
It took a little while to get organized to pull me down.
Anybody angry?
I don't want to say that they were super angry. They were annoyed.
Right.
They were annoyed.
It was causing a scene.
Yeah.
Right, because
traffic,
somebody could
parking.
be hurt and they need to save. I'm not trying to bum you out, but
right.
But you're on a Billboard and they've got to get you down. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. But and anticipating that, I made sure that the same type of cherry picker cranes that we hoisted me up to get me onto the Billboard were on hand. I was like, dude, we've got our own cranes. I'm not here to waste any resources.
Oh, okay, nice.
I honestly,
You will get yourself
not some fire ladder. Come save the cat in the tree. Come save the SIBO on the
so
Billboard.
Sketchy.
Right.
Fuck that, man.
But they said that they could not allow me to use my own team to get me down.
They had to use
for some real.
Do you get a
reason.
bill?
I didn't even get a bill.
Wow.
But what I did do was turn around. I did Tony's trick where I took a rad photo of it and printed out 1,000 copies and signed them all and donated 100% of the money to the fire department.
So you're
good move.
Yeah. Well played.
Move. Yeah, well played.
They're like, fuck you. Wait. Oh, man, no, that's actually, we really like you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
you get like a badge or anything? Like, can you go to people's houses and put fires out now?
I didn't get a badge or anything, but I made one of those like super obnoxious oversized checks and went and like posed for a photo with it with like the fire captain.
Those mean a lot, but supersized
We have
checks.
one up here in the office.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those
From him.
Supersized checks.
Supersized check. Yeah.
I got them for Ellismania one year, where the winners got a belt and a supersized check. The supersized check was like, the actual check was worth more than what the fucking check was.
I was gonna say, how much was the amount?
Like $100. Giant check for $100 because you won the fight. People thought it was way cooler than $100.
Is Ellismania and Skankfest
right.
Were you just there for Skankfest?
Yeah. Last year and this year, he asked me if I could do Ellismania, like a small one, 2 days in a row. So I did it last year.
Louis J. Gomez?
Yeah, Louis J. Gomez, yeah. And so this year I did 2 more days of Ellismania at Skankfest. So it's kind of like, Skankfest, because it's comedy. There. Everyone's doing, there's comedians.
I did my things for Skankfest the day while they were welding the thing, and because it was in Vegas.
Welding.
I left. They were welding the thing for my Tesla to be on the crane.
Oh shit!
I was like, okay, cool. I'm out, guys. I'll be in the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
So did you fight at this last Skankfest?
Not a real fight. I'm like running it. I got a microphone on my head, and I'm the ref. And one fight I'm in where I help somebody dress as a piñata. And there's a bunch of people that try to beat the piñata, and then there's 2 pros that protect the piñata. So I'm a pro that protects the piñata. Okay. So it's not a real fight. It's just a bunch of drunk skanks trying to take my head off.
Right, and there was like blindfolded
electric dog collar fight. Yes, yeah, that's one of my trademarks.
Blindfolded electric dog collar boxing.
And then you give the remotes to people in the crowd. And the best one is when you give somebody who's the person fighting their wife. I find that's the best person to give it to, because the wife just fucking gives it to them over and over.
Those things are awful.
Yeah,
they're awful.
Yeah, like putting it on a dog is not cool, man.
Right. It's so.
You have experience with all of the electrocution methods, I suppose.
Pretty much, yeah. For my first comedy special, we did the grand ending was to be shot with the taser thing with the barbs,
the prongs
wires.
that go in.
Not like people always call a stun gun a taser, and that's not a taser.
Nope.
Tasers where the wires.
Oh no! I mean, on the Jackass TV series,
right?
We did that to Knoxville when he tried to drop in.
Neck. Right.
Yeah.
So when the cops use the taser, it's I want to say like a 5-second thing, and at their discretion they can hit it again to do another 5 seconds. But the civilian version, which they it's like for women to keep in their purse or something, is a different setup. It's 30 seconds. The idea being that the woman can shoot her assailant, drop the taser, and run.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea.
It's going to keep going for 30 seconds.
Oh my!
So she has
that is a good idea.
30-second head start, and
maybe a little more actually, because You don't just jump back up after that. you're a little confused and disorientated.
So what happened when I was going to tape my first comedy special, I was mixing stunts and comedy all together, and I was going to do a big fire ending, but the venue just shut down the fire. Like, they're like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, well, what am I going to replace it with? Come up with the taser idea, but we can only get the civilian version. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to get 50,000 volts for a sustained 30 seconds. I just don't,
It's fair.
And I remember texting Knoxville, and he's like, dude, that's the best news ever. You really lucked out. You get 30 seconds, And I'm like, but 30 seconds is going to just get boring to watch. Like, how do we make it interesting? So we came up with the 30-second Q&A to see.
Wait, you answered a question?
Yeah, I was interviewed, essentially.
Wow.
I did a rapid-fire Q&A for 30 seconds, and it was actually really cool.
You could hear them, and you could reply back.
Yeah.
Is that from practice, or?
It was more, I mean, dude, your whole body locks up. Like,
yeah, but you can talk, because I've had it, and I didn't talk. I screamed, but I didn't talk.
It's more of a grunt.
All right. Is it weird doing stunts all the time and being a stand-up comedian? Like, how is the comedy world with you and that stuff?
Well,
is it just like he's Steve-O, so
that was, in the beginning, I would kind of mix them up in a live sense.
Do you do that still?
Well, now like the bar is just so impossibly high. What I do is I tape like super gnarly stuff, and then I have video breaks in the show. So the stand-up act is about the super gnarly stuff that I did for the show, and then after each bit, I screen the footage of it.
Are you on stage when it's screening, or you step off and go enjoy the...
I'll step off, and the clips are all pretty short. They're like a minute or 2 minutes.
Oh, that's the only place they're seen, though. They're not posted anywhere. They're
Correct.
not. Yep.
I mean, you can't post this
yeah.
stuff there. Like, there's like... I told you about the skyjacking, where I'm...
Yeah, I'm well aware
I
of that.
don't even need to know anything else about it.
Wait, that's new to you?
Like, started out calling up skydive companies, pitching the idea.
Oh my god,
that did not go well.
No.
Like, everyone says we're kind of a family business,
Yeah.
Like it was just an ordeal, like putting it all together and then logistically pulling it off was
literally.
Literally.
It was an epic thing.
I boned in an air balloon once with my wife, and I had to do the thing where I was like, air balloon company. I mean, I'm trying to bone a mile in, the Mile High Club or whatever, but in a balloon.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, man. Like, I knew a guy who knew a company, and they were like, he's cool. He's he just wants to bone his wife. And they're like, yeah, man, we'll let it happen. And when I get there, I just envisioned, I'm not a big flying balloon guy. I just envisioned the basket would be bigger, and it's not. And the guy that's operating it, he stays in the basket with you.
Yeah, so, where's he gonna go?
Well, I didn't think about that, man. I was just trying to think.
I'm gonna go on the top of the balloon for a few minutes, you guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
but it was weird because
that sounds weird.
Yeah, that's great.
I just knew this guy was like right here.
Both getting into some strange territory there in the air.
Yeah.
What was your? I am curious about what was the most daunting stunt, Jackass or otherwise. Firstly, when you were not sober, and secondly, when you were.
The most. I feel like daunting is a fairly subjective term.
Okay, what were you truly afraid to do?
The bull's got to be up there, right?
I just wouldn't. Like, I've never... You don't see footage of me with bulls.
I never forget when Johnny got wrecked and he jumped up on the fence. All you guys, your faces. It's the first time I've ever seen any of you all look deadly serious.
Right.
Like, you were like, I think my friend is a legit fucking lunatic.
Right. And I'm the one that's like, before he even gets wrecked, I'm just like, I can't what, like...
Could you sense that he was just...
Yeah,
I'm staying out here until
tough.
some shit happens?
I would almost say that Knoxville getting in front of bulls is the most daunting for me.
Yep.
I see. Yep.
Like, that's the
that makes total sense to me.
The toughest
okay,
thing.
so what were you hesitant to do that you just ended up doing?
Hesitant to do that I ended up doing. I mean, that's just about everything. I mean, you've been there. You know. You were part of that gauntlet. Did you skate through the gauntlet?
I did when it was early. When
Yeah.
they weren't aiming for you, when it was randomly swinging.
Right.
But then they started aiming and pushing hard, and then that's when I was out.
Right, okay.
The smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could tell it was going to go bad.
Right, because it did. Some people got really worked.
You know what's funny about that, though? That in that gauntlet, I can't remember who it was that made it through.
Right. Like,
Blindfolded.
Blindfolded,
right?
clean,
Yeah.
and people think that's me.
nice.
Which is weird. They're like,
They
I
take
saw
that.
that button. I'm like,
Yeah.
you saw it? Yeah, you made it all the way through. I'm like, yeah, in my underwear.
That's what I was
Right, sure, that was me, yeah.
You know, Tony, he's always in his underwear dodging obstacles.
Yeah. The thing with Jackass when when we're in the sort of the production process, like it's effectively a competition between rabid attention whores for screen time.
Yeah.
And as the other guys get footage in the can, it increases pressure on the guys who have not gotten footage in the can. So the further you get into the process and everyone's kind of like getting like these incredible things, the pressure really increases, like to the point where it's like, oh, a fish hook's through my face and we're going to cast me out as shark bait. Hey, I'm light on footage. That's something I need to do.
Yeah, if I was on your team and you did that, I'd be like, man, this is. I feel like I might be out. I don't know how I can.
But if
beat
nothing
that.
had been shot at that point, you wouldn't necessarily pick that one.
I would. I remember. I would have done it anyway. I'm sure. But what happened was, we went out there with the shark situation, and they had this tattoo body piercer professional guy on the boat, like sort of overseeing pushing the fish hook through my face.
Was he necessary?
Like, well, but that was the thing. We had him there. We got footage with sharks. We're still on the trip, and Tremaine comes to me. The director comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm looking at the footage we got with the sharks, and when they're putting the fish hook through your face, it's just kind of weird. Like, who is this weird like tattoo body piercer guy?"
Yeah.
He's like, and I feel like we could use more and better footage with sharks. Like, would you be down to go and put the fish hook through your face again and go to do another day of shooting?
Wait, that's the second time he did it?
I put the fish hook through my face
Oh
twice.
my god! And got in with sharks a second time.
A whole second day.
Which
And
time did you kick the shark?
That
The
was
first
on
or
the
the
second day.
Oh
Oh my god!
man, give the guy a raise! Like fuck off!
Like one of the scariest tricks you've ever made. You make it, and they're like, you know, the lighting wasn't really that
Yeah,
good.
you can.
That's 100% of the time.
Can we shoot that tomorrow? Is that cool?
No.
I mean, dude, Tremaine is genuinely like a bad person.
You're in here first.
Shit.
there are very few situations where he's satisfied with what he's got and doesn't want to pressure you to do it again.
Oh, that would get tedious, man. I'd be like,
The only
especially
one-
that.
Like the one and done I can think of was like the porta potty with the poop.
Yeah.
Wait, did he want a second one of those?
Where we like that one was a one and done.
Okay.
I remember when he's an early guy. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what it is, no matter how good it is, he wants you to do it again. It's great.
Did you have a scar from the?
No, there's two. It wasn't a hollow needle. There's nothing missing. It was a solid needle that went through.
Yeah. It looked like you really had to push.
Oh, it was a thick ass needle.
God.
And but yeah, I don't know. I have good skin. Maybe I don't know.
How long between one hook?
Would you put in the same hole the second day?
Yeah.
I don't know that there was much of a
No
hole
scar.
to reuse.
Oh, okay.
It healed real quick. How long from the first one in the mouth to the Tremaine call, and then you're back throwing another hook in?
I would guess 2 or 3 days.
Oh,
no, it's probably like 4 or 5 days in between.
Torturous.
Do you get used to swimming with sharks?
A little bit. Like, But I remember when we were filming the TV show of Jackass. We the first thing we did with the sharks. It was Danny Way had this idea called Shark Hug. He was like, "Hey, dude, I got an idea for you, Steve-O. Do catch like a blue shark on a line, and then while it's on the line, like jump off the boat and give it a hug." and that's just a gnarly thing because blue sharks are particularly like quick and
Blue
agile.
shark.
Like
Shark will do,
Right.
but yeah, blue shark a little bit worse. Anyway,
right, and I presented that idea to Tremaine when we were filming the TV show, and the idea of it being on a line, like with the hook in its mouth, was a little bit upsetting. So they found like a shark diving company that just brings you to swim with nurse sharks, and they had like 18,000 like tourist expeditions, and like
Nobody got
ever
eaten.
bit
Right.
until I got in there.
Wait, you got bit?
Yeah, I got bit on my finger. So I got this little
I didn't
scar
know
right
that.
there.
Wait, so the one that hit your foot-
The first time I ever swam, they said, "Be careful with your hand movement," and cut to the footage, and I'm just.
it went up and bit your hand.
Yeah, this little baby nurse shark bit me, and the people who took us, they freaked out. They're like, "You cannot show that on TV. We will lose our business. You cannot."
Oh, wow.
And I got bit by a shark for nothing. It didn't even play on TV.
Oh, it didn't air.
It didn't air. No, it came out years later on what was called the Lost tapes or some random obscure DVD.
I remember getting a hold of the Jackass pilot on VHS before it was even on MTV or pitched to MTV, and it was right around the time we were making our first or second video game. So I was just passing it around to people, not passing it, but showing it to people. I would watch it with them because I was like, look at these guys doing. It'll never make it to TV.
Right.
There's no way they'll ever get on TV. And a lot of those skits were the ones that you guys couldn't air.
Right.
But it was. I'll never forget. It was like one of the funniest things. And then when it premiered on TV, I was like, how?
Right.
How is this possible?
Dude, that's exactly what I thought. Especially because when the pilot got ordered to series, Tremaine tells me, "Dude, take all of your footage that you've got and send it in so that we can acquire certain things." Like, you know how BAM's CKY footage, they just took it and put it on Jackass. Right. They wanted to do the same shit with my footage, but they told me that out of everything I sent in, not one single clip was allowed on television. And I just thought, oh my God, like, two things. Like, number one, what kind of a watered down, like pussified version of what we do is this show on MTV gonna be? And I thought, I'm gonna be able to fucking make a killing selling Too Hot for TV DVDs, because that was the thing. Like, every night on TV, they had like Girls Gone Wild, or like caught on footage. You see someone like about to get hit by a train,
bum fights.
Like, yeah, so I had my own fucking late night commercials. Fucking from my Too Hot for TV.
Oh, really? When I don't remember that.
Yeah, like I came out with like a Too Hot for TV DVD, and it was like, and if you call right now with your credit card, we'll include a bonus video, which is so shocking, industry professionals have sworn its release will end Steve-O's career.
That makes me want to buy it.
There's the career ender. Yeah, there was one guy who was particularly, that was the one who was on the career ender that I stapled my ball sack to my leg for the very first time.
Like, for the first time.
No, you did.
I know.
You did that a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Right.
And the first time I did it, I stapled my ball sack to both of my legs and called it the butterfly.
Did it look like a butterfly a little bit?
No, it looked like a dead bat.
You should change the name, because that's pretty funny too. Ladies and gentlemen, the dead bat. That's pretty cool.
It was a butterfly 20 years ago.
That's cool. What about when fucking Poopies got bit by a shark?
Oh my God,
did that change your mind about swimming with sharks?
Yeah, it for sure did. The thing with sharks, when I got bit the first time, it was like such a minor little thing. I didn't even go to the hospital. We taped up my finger and just went off and kept
It's still
filming.
lucky, dude. Like, its mouth just nicked the finger instead of taking your hand off.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty small little.
Could have got a finger.
Right. That's true.
Fingers are cool to have.
That's true. But then, like, the lesson that we learned from me getting bit by the shark the first time was we cannot mess around with fucking pussies anymore. They're gonna be like, you can't show that on TV. We gotta that, and that was how they found Manny.
Yeah.
They saw him on like lifting alligators like out of the fucking swamp, like with his bare hands, like at night while wearing a speedo.
Where did you see this footage? Did he already have a?
He had a show on Animal Planet.
Oh, okay.
And they were just like that. Like they were like, this guy's gnarly, and the speedo.
Yeah. No, really tops it off.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the speedo really pushed him over.
Fits
the edge.
right in.
Yeah. So we meet up with Manny for the second season. And we're going out to swim with great hammerhead sharks. And like, Manny's like, yeah, like, we'll chop. Like, Manny's just out there in the water just hacking up, like, barracuda, like, chumming.
Chumming it, yeah.
He's just chumming away to just attract sharks. And we're waiting for him to say, shark, so we can jump in. Normally they say shark, you get out. Yes. And then we're getting with, like, footage with the shark. And then they come up with the idea, I think it was Manny's idea, let's chop the barracuda in pieces and strap the pieces on Steve-O. Yeah.
Did you feel like he's all there and you're going to be safe, or did you think?
Totally.
Okay.
I remember my dad asking me, like, how can it possibly be safe to swim with great hammerhead sharks while you have chum strapped all over you? And I'm like, Dad, Manny was right there.
What's the difference between a hammerhead shark and a great hammerhead shark?
Oh, good question.
Because I've never heard of it.
A great hammerhead, maybe bigger.
Wow.
How big were they?
They were like a good 10 feet.
Heavy.
And Manny's down there like holding onto the dorsal fin, like riding the fucking thing all over. He rides sharks.
It's just like, I get that you get to the point where you can do that, but the first couple of times where you're like, this shark seems so friendly, I feel like I could grab onto the fin.
Right.
And then you grab on it and go, hey, it didn't turn around and eat me.
Right. And Manny's like, "Hey, get over here, you're coming with me." he's like not even like, it's like, and he's just hanging on, and it's gnarly. He's super.
Has he ever been bitten by a shark?
Nobody lost a finger to a rattlesnake not too long ago. I guess it's been over 2
I
years.
didn't know a rattlesnake could do that.
He's got a permanent shocker.
Nice. He's ready to go at all times.
Yeah.
It seemed like Wildboyz was more work for you.
It was more dangerous for sure.
It was more dangerous.
I mean, because it was just all fucking
Nature.
It was all nature, and like there was a lot of emphasis on like life-threatening situations with animals that can kill.
Well, it was certainly more dangerous for me.
Yeah, for sure.
Why are you saying that?
That's when I got hurt.
It was on Wildboyz when he
Yeah, it was
did
on
the
Wildboyz.
loop, the
Oh.
monkey loop.
How does that? Why were you doing a loop on
Well,
Wildboyz?
they had a fucking like a famous monkey. I'm sure you heard of it. That was like
That could skate.
Did he skate bobs and stuff?
Yeah, so
I
we all
saw
met
him.
up at Bob's, and the idea was that the monkeys skating Bob's ramps, and Bob and Tony are skating with the monkey dressed up as monkeys.
Right.
Yep. And then one of us in our brilliant wisdom was like, monkey loop, let's do the loop. We're like, yeah, cool, let's go.
One of us?
I'm not
You?
convinced-
Who knows?
I'm not convinced that it wasn't Tremaine saying, "Hey Tony, you got that loop?"
I mean, we've already covered that he's a complete asshole, so yeah,
Well,
why not?
the unfortunate part of that was that we had just come off Huck Jam tour doing the loop every night.
So you thought it was no big deal.
It was a different loop, but literally we can't. But that's what gave me such confidence and over cockiness was that we came off the tour. We had just arrived the day before from the last stop on the tour, and so I was like, "Yeah, loop, we got it all day." And then
But it was a different loop.
Yeah, and it's weathered, and the roll-in sucks. The roll-in has like a big kink at the bottom, so you lose your speed.
Yeah.
But I saw Bob bail the first time around, and that should have given me.
Yeah.
That should have given me every warning sign
Yep.
I ever needed. It was like Bob missed his own loop.
Right. But it
like,
didn't.
I got it. No,
Dude, how
don't
about
got
when
it.
Bob looped the full pipe, dude?
Unreal.
I remember
Baldy?
I
Yep.
remember asking him like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I just like pump fakey, and then just a big frontside kick turn for speed."
Yeah, I mean, that's the tricky part of loop is especially when you do it on track, at least you can follow the track. That one, there's no reference point for anything.
Right.
That was wild. I remember seeing that cover of Thrasher because it was kind of, there were rumors.
Right.
But then the cover of Thrasher was just like, dude, that's insane. And have you ever skated a Baldy?
Nah.
Oh man, it's so rough.
The pipe he looped was like at his house. It was like a metal one that was just like in his backyard, right? Like a smaller one.
Nah.
He did Baldy.
Yeah.
But
that's fucking like
Baldy pipe.
That's like a.
It's about 14. It's about the same size as his loop. It's just not smooth, and it's a true drainage pipe.
I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about the metal one. That he
he did
first
have
did.
that.
He has
You're
that
right.
too. Yeah. And then he did like the old Rolo one where it was like a wedge
The
part
gap.
and then gap.
I was there for that.
Yeah,
He
the gap.
switch-aired it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
He's the
disc
loop
section.
mouse. He's the loop whisperer. I myself am not.
They're so gnarly.
Yeah, he's a ridiculous human.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Dude, how about the way that you had that fucking horrific injury, like right when your documentary is coming out?
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, of course,
It was the night before the trailer was released.
right. Of course, it sucks, but there had to have been some promotional benefit.
I don't think so. I didn't feel that way. I mean, if anything, it just drove home the point of the doc that, is he
Right.
risking too much doing this? And it was like, yeah, I guess he is. It was almost like this narrative.
Right.
Like you shouldn't be doing this, and then it was like, told you so. So that was hard. I mean, it definitely whatever. I've been through all this.
That's interesting, and I think that a normal person might see it that way, but I look at it and it's like, yeah, they're talking about risking too much, and it's like that's how the fucking stakes are so high, and that's just how gnarly Tony is.
Yeah, I was a little closer around him when that all happened. Like I saw the slam, and then I was at his house to do a podcast the second he got out of hospital, and his wife was like, "Really?" And I'm like, I was still on the. I mean, hey, this is the game, man. Sometimes it jumps up and bites
She
you.
was upset about a podcast.
Everybody was upset that he was still, like rest, stop. Like, what do you mean you're doing a podcast right after you got out of hospital? You need to calm down. And I also feel like the documentary, they left a lot of stuff out, but there were people that were already kind of trying to push him to slow down.
Right.
And then he does that right before it comes out. And there was a lot of, I didn't hear anyone say, "I told you so." But I feel
No, I didn't. No one said that. No,
There were
I'm just
people-
saying that there was that there was definitely that was in the air. But
Right, but you'd already had people
I'll tell
in
you.
his
I'll
ear
tell you
about
guys this. I haven't spoken about this publicly. I found out Friday that because I started skating so soon after my surgery, because I was told that I wasn't going to be able to, damage what I had done, but they underestimated what I was going to go do. My bone has shifted. It won't connect. It won't connect. It's non-union. I have to go get it done again. Sucks.
Oh, you're hearing that for the first time, huh? Dude, it's
Yeah.
so heavy. Like when Tony just showed up at my warehouse to drive the car that I was skating over, like he gets out of his car and is just like limping so bad
Well,
to walk over.
Yeah.
And I said, "Tony, it's breaking my fucking heart to see you limping like this." And he says, "Yeah, dude, I got to get the whole thing done over again."
Yeah. Well, okay. So I know it's, and I did not we brought you here, so I didn't want to make this about me, but
I mean,
here's the long
whatever.
and the short of it. Over the last couple weeks, every time I go skate, it hurts equally as much as it has for the last month or so. And I have not been making progress with my strength because I've been trying to build on a foundation of techniques and tricks, feel like, I'm getting back. And
Right.
every time I go do a trick, it's almost like I'm doing it for the first time and I can't do it again. So, do you know what I mean? I'm building on these tricks, but I'm not really building on it because it's
Right.
like I spent a whole day trying to do an airwalk. I finally did one. I don't feel like I could go do it now.
Right. You're not getting
It's going to be the
dialed.
same struggle, same battle. And so I just felt like there was something wrong. And I proactively went and got x-rays. And then my surgeon was like, yeah, your bone has not connected. It's not going to connect at this point. So I've been doing all this stuff without my bone connected.
Like,
Which,
it's
I mean, so
counterintuitive that you were trying to do stuff before it was confirmed to be connected.
it was
told
more
him it
that I
was,
was,
though.
well, yeah, I mean, I heard what I wanted to hear. You know what I mean? Like I definitely, someone said like, yeah, go ahead. You won't hurt it. Maybe in some other context, and that's what I grabbed from it. And I was like, I'm going. Okay, I'm going. I can go try to skate. But what and I've come to terms with this over the weekend because it's been super hard to hear and understand that I got to go through the surgery again. The recovery time won't be as long because my muscles are not going to be so disrupted the way that they were. And this guy he seems to be one of the best, and he has a definite plan that I'm going to get it straight. And also my leg is bowed now. So it's in, I forgot what it's called. There's some word for it. But so even if my bone were to connect now, it would be bent, inversa, I think. I forgot. Right. Anyway, this guy has a plan. He's like, I'm going to put a new nail in. And if your bone isn't straight, I'm going to go in through the side and make sure it's straight. Do you know what I mean? Like he just has such a sense of confidence and finality that I'm like, yes, that, I want that.
Good.
And I feel better knowing that whatever happens next, I know I'll give it more time. Obviously, I'm not going to go straight on, get on my skateboard and wait till the bone connects. If I can do all this shit without a bone, I'm very excited for what's to come in the future. You know what I mean?
That made me feel a bit better.
I just came out with my second book.
Dude.
And in my second book, I talk about how, like, just fucking how much it sucks, like, getting older for anybody, but, like, you know, for guys like us in particular. And I point to how well you've fucking approached the aging process. You know, like, you've been just so fucking rad at staying rad. And I even point to, like when you said there's probably going to be your last 720, you know, I'm like Tony will, like, he'll post on social media like doing a trick and announce that like that it's probably the last time he's ever going to do that trick, and that's like sad, and at the same time it's so fucking cool, you know, like to just kind of come to terms with it, and it is what it is, and like.
No, I appreciate it. Well, it those things gave me closure, and I was happy to do that because there are definitely tricks like 720 before I got hurt where I know the risk factors, and I'm not going to get some great joy in doing another 720, so I might as well just get one out of my system,
right?
And do it, and so I feel good about that. But going forward with this is like a whole new level of challenge that I've never had, and. Yeah, I'm sick of limping. Like I'm so sick of being in pain that I'm just like, please fix it. I promise to sit in a bed for months at a time to get to the next stage. Cause I can't have it this way.
With the pain that you're in, at the moment, like what are you doing to manage the pain? Is it?
I mean, I'm used to it. So honestly, when I got that news, I was like, I'm not skating. Because I'm not building on anything. All I'm going to do is go get on the ramp and be in pain and be frustrated. So I'm done with that until I get this thing fixed. So the most of the pain comes from skating.
And evidently from walking too.
Walking is moderate. It's manageable. So I'm not.
Probably get the cane back and.
No, I don't need a cane.
Okay.
No, and that's the thing, that he's very optimistic about that. I was like, does that mean I got to go back to crutches? I got to go back to cane? He's like, no, I want you to walk. So the gravity is going to keep your bone together. But I have this gap in there that the gravity is not even going to help that, like right now. So anyway, that's my story. I'm getting it done relatively soon, and I'll be on my way.
Yeah, dude. Fucking heavy, man.
So sorry I can't skate with you, Jason, in the next week or so.
Yeah.
How's skating going for you?
Pretty bad.
Dude, how about...
I hit my head the other day in Utah and got knocked out again. So it's like the second time since I've been back that I got switched off. And I did something to my neck. to the point where, like you were just saying, when you get older, the recovery of it, I don't know. I didn't get an MRI because I was like, it's not broken. You can't have a broken neck and walk around, but it just won't. There's something wrong with it. I keep getting work on it, and it just doesn't really seem like it's going to ever come back to what it was. Yeah. So,
dude, you can have all kinds of shit going on with your neck.
I know.
I've got degenerative disc disease in my neck.
Yeah, see, I don't want to go and hear that.
Yeah, I don't want to find that out.
I'm not stopping.
I'm sure we all do. I just don't want to find it out.
Yeah, I'm just a degenerate. End of story.
That's the difference between us.
Yeah.
You wanted to actually know that. I don't want to know that.
It wasn't even a question of wanting to know or not wanting to know. It was just a situation where I got an X-ray for something or other, like, and they were like, "Oh, we see like in this X-ray, we see the space in between your vertebrae is diminishing. You know, like you're getting closer and closer together."
Yeah, I don't need it. I'm well aware I'm diminishing. I know what's good. I don't need an X-ray or MRI for them to tell me. I'm like, can I move? Can I still take a hit? Dr. Ellis says he can, so I got a couple more in me.
What
this is your interview. Okay, what about...
I know.
The last time I had a doctor tell me about my neck looking like shit on an X-ray with the degenerative disc disease, I said to the doctor, so you're not telling me to mellow out, right? You're like, we can agree that the body is not a temple, but rather the body is an amusement park, and I should fucking hit it hard and ride it fucking fast, like while I still can. And the doctor was like, fist bump.
You walk out and the doctor goes, he's fucked.
Yeah. Lose my number.
Yeah.
I don't want to be liable for anything that happens.
And dude, one more thing about you. How about that fucking backside ollie photo that I think you were selling it to help out?
Oh, to help Kevin, yeah. Yeah. Who ironically will be on way faster healing than I am. And broke his leg 4 months after me.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
That was what was tricky, is that I was kind of doing stuff like that in the beginning, and I was starting to feel like a rhythm, but as time progressed, I couldn't get the speed. I couldn't get any more speed, and it's because the bone has been moving further away.
Right.
So if you look at my X-ray now than it was in 2 months ago, the gap is bigger.
Right.
So that's why I could just tell. I was like, something's wrong. So there we are. But
dude, that backside ollie, like I saw it and I was just like, wow, rad, and immediately assumed that was prior to you.
Oh, that's cool.
Your leg.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, I read the caption or something, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. That's since he broke his leg? That was the most fucking, like, I was
thank you.
So blown away by that. Fuck.
There's no guarantee that I made that exact one, but I got in the right position.
What about backside boneless, dude? Like, you stood on that leg. Like, you've done
that's
so
going to
many
be my
things.
last trick. I'm going to share that here, actually. That is going to be the last trick I do until I get my new nail.
Oh,
that one felt good though. That's what's frustrating. Like, that actually felt good because I don't need that much speed for it. Yeah. Anyway.
Dude.
Well, you will be back. You know,
it's so crazy,
and you'll be even better. It's kind of, oh man, it's new to me, but it is good news. You are gonna get it. Like, if your leg's not attached, that's bad.
Yeah,
you know,
bad.
and if you get it
reattached, feels bad. I'll tell you that.
Right. Which means when you do get back, like, think about how much you did with your fucking bone not attached to the bone.
Yeah, I mean, there's some optimism there. Sure.
Right, you're always like, when he does new stuff, you can tell he's on the back foot, and I'm man,
it sucks.
It seems so much more dangerous to do a trick, hurt, and make it with one leg. Now you're gonna have two legs again.
I hope so.
You are.
We are so not normal people. Right? Like, a lot of. I mean, just like to a normal person to hear, like, oh man, yeah, I've been skating with my bone not connected. That just means I'll be able to skate so rad.
It is. Like, dude, for sure, that is my frame of mind.
Yeah, I'm backing
without
it.
question.
I think it sounds really
I was just
smart.
like, when he said it, it was like,
right.
Oh, that means I'll actually have a bone connected.
Yeah.
Imagine
Tony's
what
like-
is possible then.
Tony's like, I'm just so stoked that I was able to get away with so much when it wasn't connected, because that means
Kinda.
Last
Kinda.
720, my ass, it's on.
It's so killer, man. It's like, dude, I was thinking too about like to try to do another like to try to make a skateboard graphic like collab of Tony Hawk and Steve-O.
Let's do it.
And in my head, the one I'm picturing is just like a graphic of us like just broken and just like old and broken and fucking like crutches or whatever, but like just somehow like skating some shit, or like just doing some. I don't know what it looks like, but
It kind of looks like right now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Let's go. Like, here, let me
It's
do
a-
it for
it's a
you.
video-
There's your graphic, you fucking idiots.
yeah.
I remember when you made those boards of our doubles wall ride. Thank you, by the way, which raised almost $500,000 for the foundation for the skate park project. The 8x10 print. What I'm saying is that 8x10 print was all for charity, all for the foundation.
Yeah.
We raised $480,000, which was amazing. And he was all OCD about it. He's like, I want it to be $500,000.
Why, dude,
Can I just write you a check for $20,000? I was like, yeah, I want this to cost you money.
Well,
Yeah.
I
So that we make it
understood-
$500,000.
I understood that we had raised over $500,000, but then my accountant tells me that for every single little fucking like purchase that happened online to sell it, that there's like a credit card surcharge, or like a Shopify fee.
Oh, that's what it was.
So
Okay,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a 2% that gets shaved off to go to the credit card processing and Shopify or whatever. So that bumped it down from over $500,000 to 480. And I'm like, dude, Tony, let me just throw in.
I was like, no, it's okay. We're good. But so
That's still
thank you for
$500,000.
that, which was amazing. That was such
I
a
was stoked, man.
that was such a gift. And so then you said we should do the boards, and we had already signed 12,000 8x10s by then, right?
12.
He's like, we should do the boards. Like, do you want to do that for charity? I'm like, nope.
Yeah. I do
So we
get
did
that.
so
Yeah,
many.
we
But
did.
what was cool about it is you made all the boards. We signed them at your warehouse,
Yeah.
and by the time I got home, you'd put them online. They were sold out.
Yeah, something like that.
Holy
It was
shit.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we numbered those too. Like
Yeah.
like 1 through 500. We did 500, and we only sold 450 because just heaven forbid if there was like anything got lost in shipping or whatever.
Right.
So we and every one of them made it to their destination. We had like 50. Like, we're gonna give you I don't know how many there are now.
Oh, give me some. We can give
Yeah,
away
we-
on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Hawk versus Wolf.
There you go.
Yeah, by all means. I don't know how many we have. I think that like you've got at least like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's great.
I've got a question for you because
Yeah.
we've got to move on to something else. Pain wise,
sure.
what is the most pain out of any stunt that went
Dude.
right or wrong? Because I would say burning.
The burns.
It is,
100%.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
And
Oh
now that,
man, you like melted your arm off,
Dude,
right?
Yeah, I had skin graft surgery on 15% of my body.
recently, like in your
It
sober
was-
life,
yeah,
right?
I was sober, yeah.
So that means no painkillers.
I've to date, since I got sober, I have still never even filled out a prescription for painkillers.
Right.
Everything's been Advil or Tylenol, and in the most grievous cases, like both at the same time, Advil and Tylenol. But the exception to that is when I'm actually in the hospital. Like, of course, they got
On IV.
Yeah, they got to put me under for surgery, like
Right.
general anesthesia, and like when I'm in the hospital, like whatever, like the doctor puts in the IV, like I'm just that's not my business.
Yep.
Because I'm not in control of it and taking it.
Well, you can't be kicking around screaming your face off when they gotta numb you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
But when you get out,
When when I've gotten out of the hospital, I've still never taken a painkiller.
is that the most difficult part of your sobriety? I mean, obviously, I know that as an
don't
addict, I
know.
get the.
I mean, I remember like when I shattered my ankle, I got a plate and 11 screws on for the compound fib or whatever it's called.
God,
that was challenging.
I remember I was there. I
Yeah.
filmed it. When you got taken away, you just went in the back of someone's car, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you just got in the back of someone's car, and then you're filming it, and then I'm watching your stories, and as soon as you get to the hospital, you're like, "Don't give me painkillers! I'm sober. Don't give me painkillers!" And they're just like, "Okay, your ankle's pointing that way, but
Yeah.
we could probably help you with that."
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I could get those words out of my mouth.
Yeah,
I think I might be like, just give it to me.
On the burns, I said, "Shoot me up, dude." I fucking
When you got to the hospital.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's.
Yeah, that looked really
the thing about
traumatic.
Yeah, people have asked me so often for so many years, like, what was the most painful stunt? And it was just an annoying question because.
Sorry.
No. It used to be annoying. It's not annoying anymore.
Okay, good.
Because, like, I would be like, well, there's different criteria for pain. There's like how acute is the pain, and then there's like how long does the pain last?
Right.
Like, if you get zapped with a taser or a fucking cattle prod, like that is acute ass pain, but it's over so
Yep.
fast. So how do you compare that to like some like burn on your butt cheek where for 2 weeks every time you stand up you got to peel your underwear off your butt cheek?
That's worse, right? In my opinion,
the
it is.
duration of pain
Right.
is earlier. But when I got those 3rd-degree burns and had to have the skin graft surgery, it was acute as fuck and it did not go away. Like, checked both boxes. So like now I have an answer. Like 3rd-degree burns was the most painful.
Where do they take this skin from to put on you? Is that
Dead
what it?
people?
It's someone else's skin.
Like, I mean, they can sometimes they'll move it from the spot and sometimes they'll use cadaver skin.
Oh, wow.
So I
Cool.
got-
You got dead skin on you?
7 different people's. dead
Cool.
Whoa.
skin. Yeah.
I got a dead
Did
person's
that just
ligament.
wipe away all tattoos?
No, but right here you see this little like it looks like gauze kind of. That's
Yeah.
another person
Yeah.
where like it actually became part of me. It's crazy.
Your tattoos stayed through that?
Yeah, it's crazy how like they're. I mean that's considerably faded.
Yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, I don't understand the whole deal. I just don't get. I don't understand it. But
You mean
yeah,
how they do skin grafts?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
how
don't
it
know- I don't
stays
know-
there
I
and
don't-
becomes yours. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it operates like a scab does, where it's just for the healing process, then it goes away. Like this one little bit where it became part of me is like aberrational, I think. But what was crazy is after the surgery, they tell me. I asked them, I was like, so do I have like one person or do I have like a group of people? And they said, you have 7 different donors and you have the opportunity. We're going to give you the physical addresses of the families of the 7 different donors so that you can write thank you letters. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is like the like I'm like, because understand, going into it, I was in the most horrific pain I've ever been in my life. And when I woke up from the surgery, I was fixed. You know, like they like whatever they fucking
There's
did.
no more pain.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that's
crazy.
wow.
It fixed me. Like, I mean, now of course later to get the dressings changed and this and that, and the next burn, you know, like it was hurt like a motherfucker again. But it fixed me in the moment, and I was so grateful for the fact that the surgery fixed me and made the pain go away. They tell me about the thank you letter opportunity, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm fucking gonna reach out to every single one of these families. You know, like maybe one of them has like a Steve-O fan or something. I'm gonna fucking fly that person out to hang out. Like maybe some of these families are struggling. I'm gonna like help them out. I want to help these people. I'm so grateful. And I tell that to my dad. My dad says, what family do you think is going to be happy to learn that their loved one's skin got wasted on a fucking shithead who set himself on fire on purpose?
Is that angle?
And I was like, yeah, Dad, that's a really good point.
I don't know. Like you did.
You could thank him and be vague about
I'm not
the
a
whole
maniac.
process.
Yeah, I didn't do it for a video.
I mean, meanwhile, well, like this was like the big ender for my second comedy special. Like there's.
I remember seeing the updates of your skin, and it was awful. It was some of the worst.
It was absolutely
photos I've seen for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had that many burns. When I was young, I grabbed a soldering iron because I didn't know what it was, and that really hurt. And then one time I stood on it.
Oof.
And my dad had a soldering iron in the house for a while because he had an electronics store, and
he left it on the floor on?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, but I remember that really hurt.
Yeah, I bet.
And I made a mental note, like, try not to get burnt as bad.
On soldering irons.
Yeah. But I know what soldering irons are now. If you show me one, I know which end to grab.
This is the state of things in the let's see. I was in like 8th grade, and we took electronics, but actual circuit boards and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is 1980, 81 or something. And I remember the teacher was like, if you don't get burned by the time the semester's over, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't get burned by a soldering iron, that's the 80s.
Yep.
Wow.
And then by the end of the class, like, who got burned? Everyone.
Yeah. It does make sense. Those things are tricky.
Giving us soldering irons to work on electronics. It was absurd. Anyway.
Yeah.
Circuit boards. I used to sell them. I used to sell ICs and resistors and all that stuff. So I had, like, you got to learn how to do it.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, but
you have to know their resistance, their tolerance, and
yeah, a little bit. God, I hated that job. That helped me become a really good skateboarder. I remember thinking, you gotta figure out a way to not do this for a living. This is fucked.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go back briefly, just because we got to go all the way to the beginning. I want to say the first time I ever saw you,
The chicken loop.
No. The first time I ever saw you was Tampa.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
At the hotel?
No, not the hotel. At Tampa. It was Tampa Pro, right?
Yeah,
Pro, and
that's
I
right.
was
Tampa
setting
Pro.
myself on fire.
I remember the contest happened, it's chaos, whatever. It's when they had a vert ramp.
Yep.
And Sean Sheffy is yelling at everyone.
Sean Sheffy was a tough guy to be around. He was a dangerous guy to bump into.
Yep.
Yes. And so, which he's not now. He's
the best now.
cleaned up. But I remember after the contest, it's all chaos. People are drinking beer, whatever, on the street course. And they're like, all right, clear the street course. Steve-O's going to do a stunt. Everyone's like, a stunt?
Yeah.
What? And they're like, he's going to, am I get this right? He's going to do a backflip and blow fire.
What it was a sequence of fire tricks where I started out by spraying my hair on my head with hairspray, like just an obnoxious amount of hairspray sprayed onto my head. And then I filled my mouth with rubbing alcohol, doused my arm with rubbing alcohol, and set my arm on fire, and then did a simultaneous fire-breathing front flip. Where
that was it. Okay.
As I flip on the front flip and rotate, I blow the fire off of my arm, so that my arm's the torch. And because I'm like flipping forward, like the fire rises up and I flip through the fire. So my head passes through the fireball that I blew. And as such, and when I crash landing flat on my back, now my head's on fire. So then I get up and I'm running around with my head on fire. And I had this chick run over, and she uses my head as a torch to blow a fireball off of my head. And then once she did that, then I'm like batting it out with my hands. And
I think I was standing right there for that.
Me too.
No
yeah.
idea who he is.
Same.
Someone's like, hey, man, someone's going to set themselves on fire. I'm like, cool, where? and then I see you, and then there's a big fire, and I'm like, well, that was cool. Let's go get some more beer. I was like, you see that guy? That was crazy. Who is that guy?
But I do remember when they said they're going to start up Jackass, and they said we're going to use stuff from CKY, we're going to do the stuff from Big Brother, and then they're like, and Steve-O. And I was like, Steve-O? Oh, he's that guy that did the fire thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was in the Big Brother camp, so
Big Brother too, but I felt like you stood out because you were at the skate events,
right,
doing that kind of stuff too.
That one was good because
did you jump off the hotel into the pool as well?
That was always doing that shit. That was my specialty. But that one was kind of cool because it wasn't time consuming. It was like, okay, here he comes, and I'm like out there and just, you know, light it.
But it was funny because from Mark's perspective, it was like, does that guy skate?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What is this?
Right.
I was like, where did we get him from? He's cool. I like him.
And then as the Big Brother videos and the magazine, it was like, oh no, he does skate for sure.
All right.
And the irony was that Knoxville didn't.
They never showed me skating. I might as well
Yeah, no, they did not. Yeah.
No, but you could tell you skated for sure.
Yeah. Knoxville is
You
the
can
most
tell Johnny
exciting skateboarder out
He
there.
is.
Oh, yeah.
No one's ever done that drop in that bad in the history of all people doing drop ins, and I've seen a lot of people fail at dropping in. I remember
That
the video where I was like, really? You
been-
managed to miss all the transition
Straight to the flat.
straight to the
on
flat.
vert.
Yeah, it was
There have been
Ventura.
two people that that could rival him here.
Big
I'll
boy,
tell you.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Big boy. But I don't. Let's just say that there is a person that is vision challenged that tried to drop in, and he hasn't shared it. So I can't. I want to say anything.
I think.
Am
know
I
what
good
you're
friends with
talking
him?
about.
You might be good friends with him.
He did not actually. Oh,
He tried.
Man, he is a.
He tried.
And it was so upsetting that it wasn't Brad to share.
That was on him. It's on.
You don't
him.
want to say his name?
No, I don't, because I don't. I think he wants to do it.
He would love the shout out. He is a maniac. He sends me videos.
Wait, what was his name? Dan?
No,
Not Dan.
Dan's his friend.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But he sent me a video recently dropping in on a thing about this.
Yeah, a
high,
wall ride.
and it went to vert.
Right.
And he made it. And he goes, "Do you think I could drop in on vert if I do that?" And I was like, "No."
Yes, I did the same thing. He sent me the same video, and I said, "That is not a vert wall. That's a wall ride.
Yeah.
And you're smashing into the ground."
Yeah.
But yeah, he tried and went in, cleared all the transition, and went into a backside revert on the way down. It's not good. It's not good.
But he didn't get knocked out. Like got up.
No, he got up so excited that he tried it.
Yeah, because he's that.
right.
Yeah.
He's like that. He's
So
the
why-
most inspirational guy between him and Tony. I feel like that has helped me because I'm old, man, and I took a long time off.
Sorry,
So
Anthony.
When I skated,
Had to.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, shout out to Anthony. You're a fucking legend, dude. You're a
The
legend.
best part of it was he slammed, and it was scary. Like it was the worst case scenario in every aspect. And he got up, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, are you okay?"
He's an animal.
And he's walking away from the ramp, like, "Yeah, are you okay?" Because I'm done with this. This is
It sounds like he's like saving it to be the ender on his part more like than he did.
I
want
know
to
he's
share.
capable. He wasn't working his way up to it. He was only doing my 5 foot quarter pipe before that, and it was like you got to have some, you got to work your way up to at least a vert wall. And I don't have that luxury here. He didn't care.
He pumped up to the vert with us, like watching and kind of encouraging him and sort of saying, "Hey man, lean left." You know what I mean? Like, because he was going off the side sometimes. But he got up to vert and made it, but he was like, "Oh," and then came back in, and we were like, "Oh." And he goes, "I felt it. I was on vert." I'm like, "Yep, you were." Drop in. I'm like, "No. Still, answers for that one is still no." Like, a bit more. Let's go a little bit longer before you do that.
When Knoxville did the drop in straight to the flat, I remember hearing that for a long time after that, like he had super difficulty like turning his like, driving his car. He couldn't turn the fucking wheel.
Skateboarding is so cool.
That was my introduction to doing something for Jackass.
Yeah, I bet.
When we did it was when we did the boombox thing,
Okay.
and everyone was dressed
that was
up like
still Big Brother. And
that was Big Brother. But right. Okay, so
Right,
my
yeah.
introduction. That was my introduction to Knoxville.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, to Knoxville. Sorry, I get them
I know,
everything
but
mixed
dude,
up.
like you've been so generous with your time and your name and likeness as it's related to the fucking shit that we pull. I remember Tremaine saying, like, yeah, Tony's just down, man. Every time we've ever reached out with something, he's like, yep, fuck yeah, man, I'm there. And like,
Because he gets it.
I appreciate it. It's funny. It's funny as hell.
and dude, and I remember like Tremaine telling me, he's like, yeah, and Tony's not necessarily like the you know, like the squeaky clean, you know, he's like, dude, he says, you know that footage of the guy who will not name, like putting the cigarette in his butthole, like, it's like, that came from Tony.
Yeah.
Like in a Big Brother video, they had like just footage of a butthole and someone putting a lit cigarette in their butthole, and with their butthole.
Who are you?
With their butthole, they're like, you see they like puffing. You see like the cherry.
Wait, he came up with that idea?
No, I didn't come up with it.
Wait, is it your asshole?
No.
What the hell?
No, but it is someone that you would know.
It's someone who you would be equally surprised participated in that.
Yeah, we did a lot of weird stuff when we were bored back then.
Yeah, and then
it was we were at an event and it was raining and there was a bunch of dudes in a hotel room and it was like, hey, you know, you can do that trick with the sucking in air. Like, what if you did it with the cigarette? I'm like, let's see.
Dude, they pull out the cigarette and fart out a cloud of smoke. And like a legit,
oh, that is cool.
They legitimately took a drag and then exhaled a fucking cloud of smoke.
That's pretty cool.
Their butthole. It was really cool.
That's an impressive butthole.
Yeah.
I love how the only place for that was a Big Brother video. It is the only place it would have ever have gone or it could have gone.
100%.
Yeah.
I remember doing a lot of partying with Pat Duffy once, and we were flying to Vancouver from Tampa, and he was so drunk that he passed out when we were waiting to get on the plane. I don't know how this worked, but I put cigarettes in his mouth and in his nose and like filled them up so it was sealed and lit them, and he was like snoring and smoking cigarettes in the plane. And then for some weird reason they wouldn't let us get on the plane. I don't know why. I was like, what do you mean I can't get on the plane? I'm fine. He's like, are you with him? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, they're like, nah.
I do get asked a lot, what's it like hanging out with all the Jackass guys? I'm like, well, when we're not doing anything, it's pretty standard. But if you're on set, you either cover your drink or you cover your crotch.
Right?
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
It's crazy if anybody comes to a Jackass set. You expect it to just be like nonstop craziness, when in fact it takes so fucking long to set up all the shots. It's the most like tedious, boring environment you could be in, and then like when something happens, it's like a moment, and then all right,
we shot the whatever it was, 4.5 or something. I don't know, when we went to Malibu, and I brought all my kids. Like, hey guys, it's a summer day. Like they're shooting Jackass on the beach. Let's go. And by the second hour, they were all just like on their phones, sitting in the video village, just like.
It's the most boring. Like,
I mean, it is it's a TV movie thing, and when you're in TV movie, it's what is it?
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait. But the thing is, with Jackass in the beginning, like we didn't know. Like it was like turn on the video camera, shoot it, we laugh, we're done. It was just so run and gun. And over the course of the last 20 years, the production's gotten bigger, and the pace that we work at has gotten slower, and it's become like oh man, I was so stoked I got my my podcast van before shooting Jackass, because I was able to roll up, got like having an RV. It's like, dude, I'm gonna be sitting around all fucking day. Let me just be chilling in my RV watching movies.
What's it like sitting around in your RV chilling, and then they go, all right, Steve-O, it's time for you to do something that is bad. Yeah. Bad. Is there like a mind thing? Do you like, do you know where to go in your head to perform like that, or is it just what it is?
It's like my bull rider buddy said. He said, "You're never ready to ride the bull. It just becomes your turn."
That's perfect. That is perfect. Yeah,
I feel like that with not so much anymore, but with stand up, I just felt like that for like the first year, where it's like. And they're like, you're up, and I'm like,
don't call my name.
And I just, my legs take me there, and I'm like, I don't want to. And I'm like, hey, everybody, kill me. Like, it's so painful.
Yeah.
But it gets easy.
You've been going for it, though.
Yeah, really trying. Man. Thanks, dude.
Super stoked on that.
Yeah, things are getting better. Just recently, too, I got like a little thing happening, and I get to go up a lot, and I've started to put something together that actually works. So when I get off, people are like, hey, man, do you want to come back? And I'm like, that's different. That wasn't last year. Like this is something's working. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, that's the process, man. You kind of find your comfort zone, and once you have that material that you know works, then you become more comfortable trying out new stuff. Because if you're like, oh, I'm trying this new thing and it's eating shit, you know you've got something to bail you out of the problem here.
And the stress level goes down when you know you've got at least. I'm like, I know I got something here. Worst case scenario, I got one that's gonna make everybody laugh. But when it was at the start, I was like, I'm trying to remember what I'm going to say. Right. And even when I remember what I'm going to say, it still might suck.
Right.
And it was just like this fear. But it also attracted me because I'm like, why am I so scared? Right. This is a thing that I have to understand and conquer because I'm terrified and I need to know the answers to why.
Right. But what's it like, Jason's getting hired by comedy clubs. Hey, want to come back? Like, what's it like for you're booking a venue?
Yeah.
Oh, well, dude, now
next level.
It's gotten crazy for me. Like I was in comedy clubs for 11 years.
Yeah.
And then I finally made the leap to theaters, and it's so fucking crazy. Like with the comedy club, you only do the shows on the weekend. Mm-hmm. So you go to one city per week, and it's a small room, and you do shows like over and over. You'll do like 4 to 6 shows over the course of the weekend in the one city. Now,
are you stapling your nuts 6 times?
No.
Okay, fuck me.
No. I'm not doing I play videos.
Okay.
But other than that, it's just performing stand up.
Okay, good.
And now, I bought a fucking tour bus. It's a piece of shit RV that's wrapped to look like a cool tour bus. But yeah, I'm just live on a tour bus.
Well, I meant more like I know they do well, but I just meant when you first set out to do that, we're like, am I going to be able to sell out a venue or sell enough to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, I've never been involved in the booking process, but now.
But did they always do well?
Not necessarily.
I see the crowds now. They're doing well now. Oh,
dude, now I'm fucking doing super well. In the beginning, Thursday night might be kind of sparse. Friday, Saturday would always be a banger because everybody's going out on Saturday,
But Thursday, when you started it, not so packed.
Not so packed on the Thursday
Any night. Insecurities with that? Like, you're like, man, maybe...
super insecure.
Right. Makes sense. It's kind of like how we have to be, right? Like, I feel like I'm hot shit and I also hate myself.
Right.
So I can go either way on this. You know what I mean? Like, if no one shows, I go, I knew it. It's because you suck. And everyone shows up. I'm like, I might be the greatest comedian that ever lived.
I've always said that about you. That, that you've got this, polar...
Yeah, you've always, I know, when you've been on my show back in the serious days, you'd be like, hey, man, you sound like you kind of like yourself today. I like hearing this. And I'm like, wait, I feel like you've pointed it out to me and made me realize, where I was like, hey, I do fucking shit on myself too much. You're right.
Right.
So I have really worked on that, but it's still a thing that lives in me. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's good. And you've been doing a ton of speaking gigs.
Yeah. I have been doing that for a long time. But I went to Europe and actually booked my own gigs, which was different.
Wow.
But it was cool. I mean, some were good, some weren't huge, but there were enough people there. But yeah, it's become a weird, I kind of just tested it about 10 years ago at this one tech conference because they invited me to speak and I did. And then I was like, oh, maybe I could figure this out.
Was that the one that you did with Mullen?
No, that was, it was actually in Ireland. It was just this random tech conference summit. Rodney and I have only done one together.
Yeah, I remember.
But it's fun. And I've figured out how to make it more interesting as I go, Yeah. Just it's just...
Practice.
It's like polishing a comedy set for sure. Right. And pulling from certain things. Because a lot of times they want a theme. Because, this conference is all about, perseverance, or this conference is about this, and it's like, all right, I gotta cater it to that, but it's fun. I like it. Yeah And it keeps me busy while my leg doesn't work.
That's good.
You get nervous before you go out and do those big speeches?
Yeah,
less as you do more.
Less as I do more, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
But
gonna
also
make it-
because generally the people in that room, they're excited to see me. They know I'm coming out.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's just, hey, here's our speaker.
Right, and then when you get up there, you feel that, and that brings
Yeah.
confidence, makes it easier.
Yeah, for sure. Way easier when I booked the gigs in Europe because the people paid for tickets just to see me.
Okay.
It wasn't like they were at a conference and it's like, oh,
Right.
now it's over in this room. It was hardcore skate fans.
All right.
So
That makes it way easier.
yeah, it was one of the shows. It was the biggest venue that I did was in Belgium and it was sold out. And of course, I'm dealing with my leg, and I started taking questions from the audience. I'm like, yeah, this kid's like, do a kickflip, and I was like, I can't, but if you want to come up and do one, he's like, really?
I saw that.
And then he ran up the stage, and then everyone that had a skateboard came on stage and was trying kickflips.
There was,
But I got like 4 in a row.
Yeah, I remember seeing 2 kids nailed
Yeah.
those back to back on your.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So then that was it. Like, drop the mic, like, good night, and then it's just a freestyle session happening on the stage, and I left.
Just a bunch of maniacs all doing kickflips.
It was a
Do you
good
know
hour
how
for me.
pumped they are though to make a kickflip in front of you, in front of them?
Oh, it was fun.
Like
It was
it's
so
such
fun.
a cool
Yeah,
experience.
it
Giving
was super
people
cool.
such a cool
Dude,
experience.
sir, and how much fun is it the way that Tony will hide his board? And show
Yeah,
it,
right.
like-
I know. I saw one the other day where you spied on the person that
Yeah,
found
yeah.
the board.
It was right by LES. Yeah.
It gets crazy because so many skaters are like would never want to set up a new pair of trucks. It's like they'll keep.
Oh yeah, his deal with
Yeah.
the only brand new ones. I know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm just used to that now.
You know when
I'm more used to new
Bless
trucks
you.
than broken in trucks.
You know when they wear in, he doesn't
Yeah.
like them anymore.
I know it's completely opposite.
Yeah, like everybody
Well,
else.
it's because it is because of the giveaway. Like it's because I was giving away so many completes to auction and charities for auction
Yeah.
items that at some point I just got used to it. And now when I set up a board, I know exactly how many threads to see on the trucks.
Yeah.
And then it's set up.
Yeah, fuck. Don't take this the wrong
So-
way, but fuck you. dude. Brand new trucks. I'm like, nah, I don't want to go anywhere on them.
I have followed suit because now that I'm selling Steve-O skateboards, like I'll just pull a trick and give the board away. Like I give boards away probably as much as Tony.
Wait, and now
the whole
you.
complete.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
now
see?
you like brand new trucks.
Yep.
It adjusted to the point where it works.
Yeah.
We're all
Still not trying it.
Christmas
but
morning. here.
Congratulations to both of you.
Yeah.
Try being 200
Join
pounds.
us,
Yeah.
join us, Jason.
Brand new bushings
New
on you
trucks
200
are the
pounds.
way.
Not so cool, man.
New bushings, you must join us.
Right? I love how he's telling me too. That's a bad sign when Steve-O's like, easy on your brain,
Hey,
man.
let's
Easy on
stay
your brain.
safe. Let's stay safe. Even though he just rode over his car that
I
was
know.
coming at him, that I was driving.
Dude, it's
And then he did a Tarzan caveman on it.
What?
I can't even explain it. He came off of a giant swing. He had to hoist it up. Came off of a giant swing and then went like Tarzan caveman onto his car.
Today.
there's a little rope swing. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
that took longer actually than the.
Not if you count all the preparation I had to do.
Oh, okay,
to get
all right.
The
Yeah.
dialed in. That one I didn't have a. You saw the whole process where you came
I
in.
did. Yes.
You came in.
Thank you.
Are you just thinking about stunts all day?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Like just to whack out that on a before you do
That
a
was
podcast.
good though. I mean, I was impressed with the dedication.
Well, thanks.
Dude, it felt more like performance art than skate stunt, but it was cool.
Performance art. Such a cool way to put it. He's just jerking off on a skateboard. You're like, no, it's performance art. Like,
That's a gentle, delicate way of saying it was pretty lame.
when it's a lame stunt, it's performance art.
Hold on. There was a part of me that felt like that in the beginning, but after you ate shit,
Oh, wait,
I was
you ate
like,
shit?
wait, this is actually kind of cool.
It's amazing how that helps it, right?
Yeah, because he tried to make one and he came off sideways and went boom, 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 like rolling out. I was like,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Oh,
gnarly.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Do
you're
that
right.
again,
That-
Steve.
yeah, we should probably make that.
I mean, hey, you know, that's a friend. It's performance art. He's not letting me off the hook. He's like, I'm not calling this skateboarding. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna be nice.
Wait, what did you swing off? What was it attached to? A what?
Yeah, I have a.
He has a giant, like he's got a cherry
really
picker.
bad.
Who the fuck is your friend? Who's your crane buddy? Like, where do you get cranes from all the time? And how do you? Oh my! You're a fucking idiot. That is fucking insane.
I think that
Say it, dude. Am I right? Performance art.
Yeah, no, that was
Thank you.
You should put that in a museum.
we'll be able to cut it together with the different angles and I think make it look less lame. Like the fisheye lens from where I started out from will make it look like.
Is it? Do you have a crane guy, or do you just pick anybody?
I use the same.
Great, because otherwise, how would you find?
Yeah, I've got cranes on speed dial.
You got like if crane guy's on
I
vacation.
don't know who he was. Your safety guy.
Oh yeah, Randy.
Your safety guy had his fingers taped together
because
Why?
because you could tell.
he didn't know what a mortar was. You know, like
what is a
mortar shell? Like it's the kind of fireworks that you put into the tube, and then it'll blast once to get it like hundreds of feet up into the air, and then
it blasts again. Yeah. And it does the dropping thing.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
He thought that it was like a sparkler. So
Your stunt, your safety guy.
The safety guy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The safety guy.
He thought that
he's holding it in his hand, the tube, and he somehow had his pinky underneath the base of it. So when it blasted, the kickback dislocated his fucking pinky.
And sliced it.
And ripped the webbing. So he needed all these stitches to stitch the webbing back together. And
so he almost blew his pinky off, basically.
Oh my God, I thought that his... Yeah, I thought...
Right. Because a boom, and he's like, and you got a soggy hand. That's a bad look. No, I've seen some YouTube videos where I'm like, I don't even want to watch that. Bum me out. Like,
Right.
People's fireworks going off. It's not.
Yeah, so that's a safety guy.
Right. So I'll be sure not to hire him for anything I do.
Now, the safety guy also spends this morning, for example, he came from his resort, like where he spends his weekends. It's a nudist resort. He's a card-carrying, full-on nudist, and in his younger years, he was the world champion of naked tennis.
Dang!
I got a photo of him with like all these like medallions around for all of his medals. Like
how's these balls? Are they pretty low?
His cock is pretty impressive.
Right. Is it burnt like from being in the sun all the time?
No, but he recently had like some catheter situation he was in. He comes over, he's like, dude, I've got to pitch you this idea. He's like, I'm on this catheter thing, and like, dude, you got to do a catheter stunt. It's gonna be great. Let me show you. Like, you think that a nudist resort, and I remember like saying nudist colony. He got very incensed by that. He says colonies are for lepers and ants.
Okay.
It is a resort.
So he always goes to these things all the time.
But no, he goes to his one. He's got a permanent like setup there.
I like the idea that he's driving back to the resort, like removing his clothes in the car, so that when he arrives, he's like, "I'm back."
Hell yeah!
Hey, everyone.
Yeah,
it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, he's a resort guy, man. I love Randy. I love him.
Hey, Steve-O, thank you for joining us. Thanks for finally making this happen. I know that it's been...
Dude, not only was it a misfire when the fire trucks were here as I arrived, but we've checked in with each other so many times.
Yeah.
Do that, oh, no, I'm doing a speaking gig.
We were all... One of us was always gone.
Like, I'll be in tour.
But I appreciate that every time you were in town, you hit me up.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I love it.
He did my show. Yeah. My show is insignificant as fuck, and he came on my show, and then he's like, we should do bonus Patreon. Hey, everybody, make sure you check out Steve-O on Patreon. I'm like, okay, Steve-O.
I'm off to the airport at 6 a.m. in the morning.
To go where?
To go to Texas.
Stand up again?
No, he's doing Rogan.
I'm doing the Rogan.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I already heard that. Cool, man.
Well, dude, I love you both, man.
Love you, buddy. Thank
love
you.
too, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dudes.
Appreciate you, and
Like
hey,
and describe.
like and describe all the things that he was talking about to others, so that they'll come here and watch it for themselves.
That was well said, Tony.
You like that?
Yes,
Yeah,
very
dude.
good.
All right.
It's the old CTA.
Yeah, dude.